everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, about 60 concerned citizens gathered in the Sulphur Springs City Council chambers on Monday evening to hear council members discuss the vision of the city. The special workshop was called by Mayor Norman Sanders to discuss ideas and to hear about past projects and long-range plans for the city. Mayor Sanders told KSST News he's thrilled by the progress that the city has made downtown, at Coleman Park, and other projects, but he wants to plan ahead for the next 20 years. One topic of concern raised by Councilmember Jimmy Lucas was the ability to maintain future proposed projects with the current staff the city already has in place. Lucas said he wants to seek out options for using free labor in the future to help out those departments he believes are underserved. Councilwoman Erica Armstrong also noted the need for volunteerism to help beautify the city. She said that encouraging local service clubs to donate their time in different areas could benefit the city and help foster civic pride. Many citizens spoke during the public forum portion of the meeting, all in support of the job the city has done in completing past projects and the ability in doing so within strict budget requirements. Some citizens spoke of the need for more housing in general and more affordable housing. Mayor Sanders said he was pleased with this first meeting, and he said he looked forward to having more of them in the future. If any of you residents of the city of Sulphur Springs have comments, questions, or thoughts regarding the upcoming special election for Proposition A, then be sure and mark your calendar for September 24th. That's next Tuesday. A public hearing will be held starting at 7 p.m. at City Hall at 201 North Davis Street. Purpose of the hearing is to discuss the scope and budget impact of the proposition. The Proposition A election will be taking place on November 5th. Proposition A creates funding for city park improvements such as Pacific Park, as well as a new senior citizen center. Today, the 13 young ladies who were selected to be on this year's homecoming court met the media. I had the opportunity to visit with each of the 13, and here's the way it went. Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, let's get your name first.
Haiti Tellez.
Okay, and your parents' names?
Maria and Saturnino Tellez.
And what do you do here at Sulphur Springs High School?
I am in Key Club, FCCLA, and Cats Ball senior staff. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, and what's your favorite thing to do?
Probably take pictures.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right, that's a fun thing to do. Do you have a favorite teacher here?
Ms. Warren and Ms. Tingle.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So many good ones you have to take too.
Yes.
What do you hope to do after high school?
Well, I plan on going to PJC to do my basics and then transfer to Arlington and get a business major.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Best of luck with this and with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Let's get your name.
Peyton Meesey,
And parents' names?
Brian and Courtney Singleton.
All right. What do you do at Sulphur Springs High School?
I'm in FFA. I've shown goats all throughout high school, and then I'm also in Key Club.
All right. What's your favorite thing?
Showing goats takes up a lot of time, but I make money from it, and it helps pay for college. So,
Kind of get attached to those goats?
yes, but at the same time, it's just part of life. So,
There you go. You got a favorite teacher at the high school?
Coach Dorner. Yes.
And what kind of career plans do you have after high school?
I plan to go to TJC in Tyler and do their 4-year dental hygiene program.
All right. Well, best of luck with
Thank you. Thank you.
It's fine. Let's get your name
Hannah Morrill,
and parents' name.
Craig and Ann Roberts.
All right. What do you do here at Sulphur Springs High School?
I'm a cheerleader.
Okay. And that must be your favorite thing.
Well, my favorite thing is dance, but
Oh, okay.
I do dance outside of school.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad you clarified that. Do you have a favorite teacher here at the school?
Probably Miss Baxley.
All right. What kind of career plans would you like after high school?
I plan on studying occupational therapy.
Oh, okay. Well, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Let's get your name
I'm Slaska Lobin,
and parents' names.
Carrie Lobin, and Bill Lobin.
And what do you do here at Sulphur Springs High School?
I'm a member of the Key Club, I'm a member of the Yearbook Club, Cat's Paws, and I'm in BPA.
And what's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do is probably participate in Key Club and do all the activities that we get to do there and go to all the schools and read books for them.
Yeah, they do a lot. Have a favorite teacher here at school?
Let me think. Miss Bailey, my English teacher, she's probably my favorite.
Okay. What kind of career plans do you have after high school?
I plan on going to Texas A&M Commerce and majoring in environmental science.
Oh, okay.
And after that, I'm really not sure.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. And Sable. Let's get your name
Sable Erdmeyer.
and your parents' names.
Jessica Young and Chad Swatzel.
All right. What do you do here at Sulphur Springs High School?
I do a lot. I'm in a varsity track. I'm the captain of the powerlifting team, and I'm a varsity cheerleader.
All right. What's your favorite thing?
Powerlifting for sure.
Serious about that. Do you have a favorite teacher here at high school?
Miss Robinson, she's my law teacher.
What kind of career plans do you have after high school?
I plan on being a dispatcher from 18 to 21, and then when I turn 21, I plan on being a police officer in Roy City.
Oh, okay. Well, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.
You too.
All right. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Let's get your name
Shelby Allsbrook,
and your parents' names.
Stanley Allsbrook, and Shane and Lori Johns.
All right. What do you do here at the high school?
I'm the cheer captain, and I was an NCAA All-American cheerleader. I'm the secretary of the senior class and the secretary of the student council. I'm in Key Club and FCCLA.
Pretty good list. What's your favorite thing out of all that?
Definitely cheer.
Okay. A lot of them say that. Do you have a favorite teacher here at high school?
Yes, Miss Baxley. She was my English teacher for 2 years.
That's the second vote for her now. She's doing well.
Pretty great.
And what kind of career plans do you have after high school?
I plan to go to A&M College Station and be a speech-language pathologist and hopefully work with kids with autism.
Very good. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. All right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Let's get your name
Brenna Irving,
and your parents' names.
Brent and Dina Irving.
All right. What do you do here at the high school?
I am the president of High King Club. I'm in Key Club and NTHS and NHS and the HSTE program where we shadow at the hospital.
Very good. What's your favorite thing to do?
Probably shadowing at the hospital. It's cool to see all the different things in the healthcare field.
That's a great program.
Yes.
We've watched it over the years, and it really does a good preparation for what's next.
Yes.
You have a favorite teacher at high school?
Miss Baxley, she has been my English teacher for 2 years and she's helped me so much.
We're going to have to meet her. You're the third vote she's gotten out of this group.
Really?
Yes, indeed. What kind of career plans do you have?
I plan to go to Texas A&M in College Station and major in microbiology and then go to medical school and study cardiology.
Very good.
Yes.
Best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. All right, next victim. Let's get your name
Ashlyn Bimmerly.
and your parents' names.
John and Katie Bimmerly.
And what do you do here at high school?
I'm in Key Club and Student Council. I'm NHS Vice President, and I'm a part of the HST program where we get to shadow in the medical field.
All right. What's your favorite thing out of all that?
Probably HST because I love being in the hospital and getting to shadow people.
Second vote for that we've had. Well, who's your favorite teacher?
Miss Maker. She's been my Spanish teacher, and I love her so much.
Oh, very good. Okay. What kind of career plans do you have?
I want to be a pediatric nurse practitioner.
All right.
Yes.
Well, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.
You too.
All right. Okay. Hi there. Let's get your name
My name is Ana Diosdado.
And your parents' names?
Lourdes Ramirez.
All right. And what do you do here at high school?
I'm in the NHS Society, and I'm in NTHS, host of the HSTE program, Student Council.
All right. A lot of initials in there,
Yes.
A lot of stuff to do. What's your favorite thing out of all that?
I think the HSTE program, just because we get to go shadow medical departments.
Yeah, you're, I believe, the third one of this group.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's very popular.
Yeah, it's a good program.
Yeah, it really is.
Gives you a lot of practical experience. You have a favorite teacher at high school?
Yes, Miss Baxley. Yes, she's my go-to teacher for everything. She's very empathetic, and she helps you out with a bunch of work or anything that you need.
She's had so many votes today, I can't even remember how many. She's
Yeah.
a very popular teacher. What kind of career plans do you have?
I'm planning on becoming a dermatologist.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
All right, hurry up. This town needs one.
I know, that's why I'm going to become one.
Very good. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Let's get your name
Allie Owens,
and your parents' names.
Bill and Beverly Owens.
Okay. What do you do here at high school?
I'm captain of the drill team, and I am in NHS, and I am a part of the science UIL team. That's about it.
Mrs. Mack is proud of you.
Yes, she's probably my favorite teacher, and that's my favorite organization. You just get to learn a lot about life skills, and it's great for young ladies to learn how to become a woman and how to hold their place in society.
All right. And so obviously that's your favorite thing,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. And you mentioned a favorite teacher. And what kind of career plans do you have?
I want to study in nutritional science, so become a nutritionist and hopefully have my own business.
Very good. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Okay. All right. Next up, let's get your name.
My name is Jasmine Clayton,
All right. And your parents' name.
Anita Clayton, and Jerry Clayton.
All right. What do you do here at high school?
I'm in the Sulphur Springs Blue Blazes, Key Club, FCA, and BPA.
All right. What's your favorite thing?
Probably Sulphur Springs Blue Blazes and FCA because that's God, so I love that too.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good that you can't just choose one. Do you have a favorite teacher at high school?
It's probably going to be Miss Baxley because I've had her for 2 years, and so I didn't have her this year, so she's my favorite teacher. She's outstanding.
Gotten 5 or 6 votes out of this group
Yes,
today.
I love her. She's amazing. So
I
yes.
have to meet her. I'm telling you. What kind of career plans do you have after high school?
I want to go study at UT Tyler and be a dental hygienist. So that's,
Best of luck with that.
thank you so much.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
All right. 2 more. Kaylee Malone.
How are y'all today?
Does fine. I just gave it out and away, but we'll get it on tape here. Let's get your name
Kaylee Malone,
and your parents' name.
Brad and Kelly Malone.
And what do you do here at high school?
I've been a part of Key Club for 4 years. I'm a part of HOSA for 4 years and the HSTE program for 2 years. And I've been a member of Lady Cat Volleyball for 4 years and Lady Cat Track.
All right. What's your favorite thing to do?
I would say volleyball just because I like being able to teach the younger girls that come in and they're not very familiar with everything. I like teaching them and how to grow up and be confident in themselves and just grow to be.
All right. And who's your favorite teacher here?
I would say Coach Carrillo, David Carrillo, because he's helped me a lot through my high school, just being there to support me and talk to me about anything that I need. So he's like my life coach.
Okay. What kind of career plans do you have after you get out of school?
I'm following the health career, and I'm going to get my degree to be a neonatal nurse practitioner.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
That sounds exciting. So it's nice to talk to you.
It was nice. Thank you so much. It was nice talking to y'all too.
All right. And number last, let's get your name
Heather Bowen,
and your parents' names.
Robert Bowen, and Bambi McAfee.
And what do you do here at high school?
I'm involved in HKK, HOSA for 4 years, softball for 4 years, and HSSTE for 2 years, and Key Club for 4 years.
You've been sticking with these things. What's your favorite thing to do?
Softball.
Softball. Okay, all right. And you have a favorite teacher at high school?
Miss Bowman. She's a very sweet lady.
All right, very good. What kind of career plans do you have after school?
I'm going to go into veterinarian. So I'm going to go to vet med.
Animals, huh?
Yes, love them.
You're going to do big animals or little ones?
Little, I worked at the vet this summer, so
Okay.
I've got some experience, yes.
Well, best of luck with it.
Thank you.
The homecoming court ladies will also have practice for homecoming game evening on Thursday morning on the field inside the multipurpose building. They will also be introduced at a Friday afternoon pep rally, and students will be voting on them this week. And two princesses and the homecoming queen will be announced right before the football game Friday night at Gerald Prim Stadium.
Our quilt show in Sulphur Springs, which is put on annually by Lone Star Heritage Quilt Guild, is strategically placed through the year to be part of the circuit of people who love to go to quilt shows. So we're expecting a crowd in town this weekend, this Friday and Saturday at the quilt show at the Rock. Let's meet a charter member of the Guild, Billy Ruth Stanbridge.
20th and 21st. So we have 2 full days, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Goes until 5 at the Rock.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, at the Rock. And if you don't know where that is, it's, well, I guess we even have an address.
115 Putnam.
Yes, 115 Putnam. And also, since we're at the location, I'm going to bring up the other event that is going to be taking place. So if you have seen the Millennium and any number of...
Use this one.
Okay, yes. So these are terrific advertisements for, it's called Brick Street Vintage Market. Now that will happen on Saturday only. The quilt show will be going the 2 days,
Friday
the 21st and 22nd, a Friday and a Saturday. So the market will be just the Saturday.
And there's a demonstration, a quilting demonstration during market downtown on Conley Street, I understand.
Well, they wrote that.
Okay. But it's all hands on deck over at the Rock, really.
Yes. I think that they thought maybe I was going to be demonstrating. I won't be demonstrating, but I will have a quilt to show there.
Okay.
It would be too difficult to set up something and actually be sewing.
Well, that may be true. So on the quilt show, which the quilts will be hung this week. All this goes on behind the scenes when the quilts are taken out of their carefully labeled bags and hung inside the Rock.
That's
140?
Right. Well, I think I read 120 this time. So, and that will include large as well as small.
Okay.
And it's not just from us. You know, sometimes people get the impression that only our guild brings in quilts. We advertise everywhere.
Okay.
So we can take in, you don't have to belong to a guild. If you feel that you have a quilt that is worthy of what you would like to have shown, then you have to respond. And because all of the cards that are all over town, and it gives all of the directions about where you go to for registering.
Okay.
A lot of people, this happened especially back at the beginning when we were in the girls' gym at the high school.
Okay, yes.
People would arrive with quilts and say, I brought a quilt to enter. They didn't understand that you have to have all of that planned and hung.
Right now registration is closed because the show is ready to be put out.
Because, see, judging has to take place. And that's a meticulous thing to do. So there's no disturbing during that time. And it's good because it's a person who's highly skilled, concentrating on every single quilt and evaluating for the category in which it's been entered.
Okay. Which are some of the categories? Heirloom?
Yes. It kind of starts with bed size. like a full size. We have wall hangings. We have different kinds of finishes. So if my partner, I wanted her to be introduced, Deanna.
Deanna Haston, and she just doesn't like to be on TV.
And she's so talented, and she could answer these questions even better than I could. But no, she just wants to be my backup. But we have numerous categories in which, and I remember a question coming in quite a long time ago about just joining our guild. And this person said, do our stitches have to qualify? Well, if that had ever been, I never could have gotten in because people start brand new if they've not had experience at it before. So, no, nobody qualifies to join the guild. You come because you want to. Okay. You meet other quilters, and you have an opportunity to see the programs that we bring in. But beyond that, we have groups that meet during the week. Now, most of those are skilled quilters, but they will help any brand new person who comes in so that they can get started.
I remember, because I visited the Quilt Guild meeting in August.
Right.
And this quilt show was the biggest topic of discussion. However, at the end, there were all these lap quilts piled on this table, stacked on this table, and this work had been done off-site, right,
yes,
during the month, and the work was completed and brought back. These go to a veterans home and a children's organization.
Yes, we have a whole list, and thank Deanna for making out the list for me. We give to child advocacy, Can Help, Meal a Day. Of course, that would be in terms of money. Hospice, Backpacks for Kids, Senior Citizen Center. We're always taking things to the hospital for the little baby quilts. What would you call them? Those are the ones that are just brand new newborns.
Okay.
And sometimes the mothers don't have anything for the baby. And we also contribute to the Shadow Ranch.
Okay.
So we have a whole series of things that our quilters do.
I was impressed that something was mentioned about patterns that you would choose or colors you would choose for the Veterans Center, I think in Bonham, that men might like.
Right.
And so that's very thoughtful.
Absolutely.
And lap size. There's a lot of work that the Lone Star Heritage Quilt Guild does throughout the year.
Yeah.
And it is an over 20-year organization, because 20 years ago, they dreamed up this quilt show, which has become a fabulous one across our state.
It has, right. Elise Brewer, at that time, she had tried announcing it in the newspaper, and she was so disappointed because she got no response. So she went back again to the newspaper, and somebody had suggested that she put a quilt out on the floor, and she was sitting on it looking at the photographer, and she put out her plea, and that picture did it. So Elise was an active part throughout the time that she still lived here. She's in Arkansas now, but she has been down on occasion. She has family here, and I think at some point she wants to come back here. But she was the beginning.
And you've been very strong from way back, Billy.
Oh,
Ruth,
yeah.
In the Quilt Guild.
Right.
It's something that you have really pushed along and still support strongly. This Friday and Saturday with our quilt show here, we'll bring people from everywhere to come see what we have.
Right.
And they love coming to Sulphur Springs.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to be even more thrilled when they find out about Saturday's Brick Street Vintage Market.
Yes, because I think they're up to, it's somewhere between 50, maybe between 50 and 60, because I had a call just yesterday for somebody still wanting to get in.
As a vendor.
As
at
a
the
vendor.
Brick Street Market.
And this will all be down at the square. And so when they call in, they indicate what skills or what products they have, because they don't want to get a repeat of a lot of the same things. So Judy Heilman is in charge of that, and so she's aware of every single vendor, what items they're bringing, and so this is our second, I don't think it's the third, I think it's our second time to do this.
Right.
And one of the ways that we're working together, because as a part of the Downtown Business Alliance, this is something that I always like to see us do, which is have our activities blend and support each other. Right. And we're so fortunate by using the Rock, we're barely half a block from the square. So I will have a booth at the Vintage Market. Kathy Steele, who everybody in town knows because she's worked at the police department for 42 years.
Oh, my.
Yeah. She's only now retiring, 42 years. So she'll be there with me. And we will give out our cards like this. And on the back, it gives every piece of information, where we are, the hours, the dates, everything. So I'll be giving those out, or we will, so that we will help direct people from the market down to our show. And then at the show, we will talk about, they're taking part in the to attend, to go down. In fact, I made up a list of all of the restaurants and all of the specialty shops, which of course a lot of our own people don't know.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them are right on the back. Well, it's a description on the back of this card, nice size card.
Right.
Here's what I want to say, Billy Ruth, is that sometimes traffic into our town on quilt show weekend comes to the quilt show and then they discover downtown.
Right.
Sometimes it's the opposite. So
And
however, as long as we get them together.
That's what we're encouraging.
And now, in the moments we have left, let's talk about this beautiful quilt behind you.
Okay. Truly, it is gorgeous.
It is largely black. It's black binding, black many of the squares.
Somebody that all of you, many people who, live right here in Sulphur Springs would know the name Judy Van Winkle. And she and other members put this together. And Denise Givney, who's again one of those beautifully talented people, and she's the one who does that.
Oh, the free arm
does the quilting.
Okay.
Yes.
This quilt is called Tessela. Tiffany Hayes is the designer, and Beryl Newsom had some part in that.
Yes,
quilting.
she did. She did all of that fine little binding around there.
Somebody's going to take this quilt home on Saturday.
Yes. We will be selling tickets. They're $5 for 6 or just $1 a piece.
Okay.
And the drawing is done on Saturday, so it's not like you're going to have to wait a long time. Of course, all of us quilters have been busy selling tickets, but tickets are sold right at the show, too.
And speaking of tickets, there's another ticket which gets you in the door, and that is
Yes.
$5.
That's for entry.
Right.
And then the other is for the sale of the tickets
Okay.
for a chance
Yes,
to get this.
beautiful quilt. $5 for people to come in and see the quilt show Friday 9 to 5 or Saturday 9 to 3.
Right.
The other day you come, will be another $5 entry, so it's per day. And children 12 and under, how much?
They get in free.
Free. Bring
Right.
them.
They get in free. And we have children's activities, quilt-related activities.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Billy Ruth, personally, and Deanna Haston, who won't come on camera with us, although she's beautiful, and for all the Lone Star Heritage Quilt Guild and DBA members who also are lending their support towards this event.
Yes, absolutely.
And thank you for coming in this
Thank
morning.
you.
We'll see you downtown on Friday and Saturday.
It's Coordinator Tuesday, and Wildcats football offensive coordinator Matt Young will be telling us soon about the Royce City defense the Wildcats will be seeing Friday night at the Prim on homecoming. But he starts out by telling us about the Wildcats offense against Terrell last Friday night.
Kind of heartbreaking, just a tough one. The kids played hard. Just didn't make the plays. You go look, we had 11 penalties on offense by 10 different guys. Our focus, our flip from that is really attention to detail. Just understand how the important things they do on a day-to-day can change a final outcome. We had over 400 yards of offense, 20-something first downs. Just not enough to win the game. So I like the last drive we had. We got down in field position, but we didn't score the touchdown that we needed to win. So it was just one of those tough nights. We knew with the young team that we had, we'd have those roller coaster nights, and we had one last Friday. We just hate that it came during district. But you just move on. That's what we've taught these kids about toughness, and I think that's what they're going to show. I mean, we saw the two running backs, Caden Davis, Chalk Sims, both had really good nights moving the ball. They did a good job blocking. I think combined they had 5 receptions. You kind of look at combined, I think running back-wise, they have 11 catches on the year, which would lead the team positionally. So they did some good things. Got some good stuff out of Bryson Lacey. He continues to make big plays on the outside. Noe Ponce is dependable. Caden Wallace went through growing pains, made some great throws, made some bad throws. He had 2 interceptions. Both those were tips on 3rd and longs. They weren't key things in the game, but we got to continue to work on pocket presence. The last ball he threw on the corner was 6 inches over Chase's hands, throwing to the guy that we want to throw to. Did a great job knowing on that play he had to take the throw because he couldn't take the sack. Just subtle things like that. So just as a group, Giovanni Pisano played extremely well at offensive tackle. Probably his best game of the year, just dominated physically and continued to make strides. Just got to have that consistency. I mean, we had a false start on a snap that slips out of our hands, and just those little things end up getting you beat.
Yeah, you think about the second half of Wakeland, and you think about the ball game the other night, and it's just like we moved the ball, but we kind of stop ourselves, and those seem like a flag on every drive.
There was, there was all but one, and you go through and you look. I mean, we finish practice each day with red zone plays where we talk about scoring touchdowns, and we score a touchdown on each of those plays we finish. So there's lots of little things we're doing this week. The attention to detail is a big emphasis. Just how we stand in line, that we're not rolling into things. Just every little thing we can say and show that you're already doing, or hey, we're going to improve on, to let it carry into a game and lead to the win.
I can't hardly wait to hear what you're about to say now, because you're going to talk about Royce City and their defense, and that is a good group.
Yeah, we kind of feel it may be the best we face this year. It won't be the most talented group overall. There's a lot of talented individuals in it. They've got the returning defensive MVP of the district at nose guard. He's put on 30 pounds and squats about another 100, 200 pounds than what he used to. So we got to have a plan for him, and he's going to make some plays. They have some outside linebacker, an inside linebacker, and a safety that are all returning players. I think they have 8 seniors starting on defense. They got a really good scheme that the kids know and are confident in. And so it's just going to take our attention to detail to be successful. Our timing on routes, our reads, our keys, there can't be false steps, or you're not going to get yards and they're going to lead you to punt. So we'll have our hands full, but I mean, offensively, we take the challenge. We move the ball. We just need to eliminate those errors, and we'll get in the end zone and make it a heck of a ball game for homecoming.
Are they a simple lineup, or do they kind of jump around and vary?
I can pretty much tell you every snap where they're going to be standing and what they're going to be doing. This defense has been around for a while. It kind of traces its roots. One, a guy that was there, some of his stuff, and also back to Waco Midway back in the early 2000s. So it's one that's kind of stood the test of time. So things that have picked on it, they have the answers for. If you do something and it's because this guy's 1 yard here, well, they move him 1 yard there to handle it. They just, hey, if this is happening, then this guy's going to play to that gap or slant that way. Just they have the ifs, thens already lined up, and that's what kind of helps them be sound in what they're doing. They're not going to take a risk. You're going to move the ball. Their deal is they're betting on their defense over 8 plays. They're going to end up getting you to a punting situation rather than to the end zone.
Wildcats football defensive coordinator Alex Guetta will describe the Royce City offense the Wildcats will face Friday night at Prim Stadium on homecoming. But first, Coach Guetta talks about his defense that bottled up Terrell's wing T offense last Friday night in Terrell.
I was pleased. Kids worked really hard all week, did their assignments. They were, patient. The reads were great, and they just flew to the ball. They were very aggressive, so I was very happy with their effort.
Yeah, that's really with all the work of trying to get the scout team to emulate that and everything, but they must have done a pretty good job, because the guys, they put a clamp on that defense all night long.
Yes, sir. Our JV guys that come in and help scout, and they take a beating weekly, but they did a really good job. I mean, they've been excited about doing their job, on the practice field, and our coaches worked with them, and they picked up, gave us some good looks, so we were able to just have a good night Friday night.
Especially the D-line. Well, really, I mean, you could just almost every unit. The inside linebackers did some things. Outside linebackers were incredible, and the D-line, especially Peoples. Those guys were really, they came to play.
Yeah, I was excited about him. Peoples had a kind of a breakout game. We always, we know he's a good player. He did a great job, but also was excited about Aiden Walker. Aiden's kind of been off and on here and there, and he sat right into that offense, and defensively on the edge there was able to make waves for us. So I was happy for him.
Cameron Hargrave had some good moments along with Cairo, and so.
Yeah, Cameron done a great job. We moved him from D-line out, and it's been a long road for him. At first, we weren't sure he was going to fit, and he just kept, all credit to him. He kept working, and got me to a point where I had no choice but to play him there, and he did a great job, and was proud of him. Cairo's going to do what Cairo does. He's pretty aggressive and had a big hit later on in the game, caused a fumble, which was awesome. But like I said, the guys did a great job. I was proud of them overall.
I think I could only identify maybe like 3 plays. We know there were 2 passes that kind of got away from us, and then I only remember 1 run of any kind of significance at all. So.
Yeah, we actually had him bottled up, and one of our corners came up. I believe Clayton hit him and just didn't wrap him up. He had him dead on the spot for probably no gain, and the kid just bounced off, made a great play. I told our kids they're athletes, so they're going to bust a couple, so be ready, and that was one of them.
Yeah. Now we've got Royce City. And I remember them last year as a, kind of a vanilla offense. It was a kind of a running attack and really challenged to throw the ball. Well, obviously with move-ins and some tweaks by their coaching staff and everything, they've really gotten off to a blistering start this year at 2-0.
Yes, sir. One thing about Royce City, they're always going to be solid. You're going to be well coached, and offensively, they move around a lot. A lot of formations, but they're still running essentially the same offense. I think they're about 70% run versus 30% pass. However, they do have a couple of great receivers, but they have some good running backs, and the quarterbacks can move. They use 2 of them, and we're impressed with both of them. We just got to try to contain them, continue to be aggressive, and get to the ball.
Then they had the coach's son in the backfield. I think they've moved him to receiver, and then got a couple of move-ins from Lancaster.
Yeah, the coach's son has moved out. He will play back there in the backfield. They're 2 back sets. He'll be at the slot receiver. He does a great job dragging them across the field in their sprint outs. Quarterbacks do a good job. When they're scrambling, finding guys. So we've worked scramble drill. We're kind of trying to spy a little bit here and there with that quarterback, and just hopefully we can contain them.
Yeah, they had a good running back last year, and he's back. I don't remember him having a real big game against us last year, but he seems to be their leading rusher every time I see him, stats.
Yeah, Bryce Martinez, good one, really good, number 26. We were really impressed with him last year. But this year, he's continued to grow and get better. He's a slasher. If you take one misstep, he's going to make you pay because he can go. He's pretty fast, and he runs hard.
That's the thing about defense. You play one good game, you can't rest on your laurels, can you? Here comes Royce City, and they're going to be a challenge.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. We were excited about Friday night, but we left Friday, we watched it Saturday morning, and we left it there. We're done with it. Time to move on, and now we got to produce all over again, different type of offense. So we just got to get prepared. Got some good looks yesterday in practice. Hopefully get some more with our JVs today, and try to have a similar performance on Friday night.
That's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you so much for watching, and so long, everybody.